Getting everything ready. I forgot to get my mic together. So, hey, how's everybody doing today? Thanks for checking out my broadcast. Today is day 143 of my 3-year challenge to focus on my health and wellness. Little about me, if this is the first time you're checking out my broadcast, my name is Jonathan. I am married, father of 4. I started this weight loss challenge in November 1st of last year. For 42 days, I water fasted. So it was a total of 1,000 hours water fasted. And then after that, I switched over to a whole food plant based diet and pretty much been doing that ever since that fast. I did fast for another 10 days in there. So I fasted for a little over 50 days total in the past 4.5 months. So um, it's been great. Hey, Anthony, thanks for checking out the stream today, and thanks for the compliment. Yeah, I had a pretty good day. If anybody has any non-scale victories they'd like to share or anything else they'd like to share, I'd love to hear it. The I'm trying to think, yesterday, if after the stream not much happened, we ended up having pizza, which is always great. It's like a potato and oat crust pizza that Carrie makes the marinara. We had onions and corn and red peppers on it last night. The red peppers were really good. It was the first time we've had it with red peppers. I think it just helped kind of give it that pizza flavor for whatever reason. And it might have been something with the it might have been something in the marinara sauce, who knows. But yeah, it was great. The For me, I had a couple of non-scale victories. Um, so the first one I guess I'll talk about is just kind of having this mental clarity, I guess, but also like I talked a little bit about having cheat days the other day and about how I don't know that having cheat days is the best. I mean, I couldn't have a cheat day really on the diet that I'm currently on. And maybe that is part of maybe what succeeds is finding a diet that you don't really want to cheat on or you can't cheat on it. Um, and then working it, and that's one of the tough things I think with keto is being able to stay on the keto diet or keep yourself in ketosis. So, having a diet you can maintain, I guess, is a big thing. But with this particular diet, with us not having the salt, oil, or sugar, Carrie's checking in. Thanks, Carrie, for checking in. The uh, they talked about it in the book that I read, and then also the doctors at the True North Clinic talk about it in a lot of the videos and stuff. But over the course of 38 years of my life, I have put myself in a position where I've constantly been eating sugar and salt and oils, and my body has built those levels up in itself. I mean, it's similar to probably what they talk about with like half-life with drugs and things like that, where if you want to quit uh or if you quit doing like a hard drug like cocaine or something, that the withdrawals, you have withdrawals from that, but there's still residue of those things in your system for a long time. And when they talk about getting over your addiction to caffeine and your addictions to sugar and salt, they're very open about that it is something that it takes months to do. It's not something that just happens uh, a week later. Like, I quit adding salt, oil, and sugar to my diet technically on November 1st. I didn't really start this diet till December, but I wasn't eating I wasn't eating anything. So technically, so since November 1st, I haven't had salt, oil, or sugar added to my foods. there's obviously salt and sugar in, some amounts in the foods I eat, especially since I really like fruit and I know there's a lot of glucose or sugar in that. Um, but what I was getting at with my non-scale victory here is that I just don't have any urges to mess with my diet. And it's not even like, I talked about the candy bar thing the other day and that stuff or haven't, but like I, not anything that's too uh like if I have a stressor like I had a few weeks ago, or I had other things that happen where normally in my life I would go to food. Uh, Yesterday it kind of happened where I was kind of stressed out, and uh, it's something where I very much had that realization or that thought that I would have just gone to Sonic on my way home and fixed the problem or whatever, and I it wasn't even like an option. It wasn't even like a reasonable like uh option. Like I was almost laughing to myself that that's where my head still kind of went, but it wasn't it was more like how would I have handled this in the past and not so much where I'm at now, I guess is why I was thinking about that. But it just made me think overall, I just don't have any desire to mess with my diet. I don't have any, and I think that I'm hitting that, I believe it was sugar that they talked about was 3 months to get over, but it might have been salt. It was either salt or sugar. Um, that it takes your body months to get over its addiction or drive to that, to those things. And I feel like I'm getting to that point, or I might, I'm there maybe, like it's weird. But I just don't have any desire for it. I'd much rather, if I was wanting something sweet, I would much rather go and grab some dehydrated mango, or to do something um, that's a healthier option, is really, um, and so yeah, that's, like I said, just coming to that realization and seeing that, being in that kind of area of the diet where I'm getting to that point is pretty cool. Um, and then my other non-scale victory that I was going to talk about is, I don't know if I don't know how to, it's a victory, but it's not like it's odd. So what it is that I have been trying to do a little bit more walking, and this morning I went for a walk, and I kind of there's a place, there's like a neighborhood near where I live that has a nice paved road that I went and kind of was walking on their paved road this morning. It was the first time I'd ever walked in that neighborhood, and I almost got killed. Uh, but uh, I was walking, and it was a nice road, and I was feeling good. And so I kind of was like, well, maybe I'll try jogging a little bit and see how it does. And I I didn't really have any issues with jogging. My ankles, legs, a little bit sore today. Maybe I've been sitting a lot as well, so there might be some soreness um, from that. Anyways, so so I ran, and I mean it was at most 20-30 yards, and I'm probably giving myself a little bit of distance. But the thing that was the most annoying, I guess, and I mean the non-scale victory was that I did run, and it was the most running I've done. Uh my son, I was talking to my wife about this, and I said something to her about jogging a little bit, and he literally said, "Dad, you ran? I don't think I've ever seen you run in my life." Uh so he's kind of an asshole. Um but so I explained to him that it was not running, it was a trot at best. Um, but the unnerving part about it, the whole situation was Um, I had earbuds in, and I was wearing a pair of mesh pants that I didn't have the drawstring real tight on around my waist, and whatever my waist, where I wear my drawstring is like what I call my waist and not my belly button. But when I decided that to jog a little bit, the drawstring was a little bit loose, so I took it and I ended up pulling the waistband up to like around my belly button area. People wear their pants there. It's just not the place where I wear pants, I guess. Uh, and so, no, I did not lose my britches. Carrie says, please tell me you lost your britches. I did not lose my britches. Um, but I started running, and over the audio in my headphones, I could hear my belly fat slapping against my thighs. Um, it was very unnerving, um, and saddening, I suppose, to have that happen. Um, I it was just something where it was I don't even really, I don't feel like I have a lot of loose skin yet. It's mostly because the skin's loose there, but it's still probably got 100 pounds of fat hanging around in there. So it is definitely something where I was. It's nice that I was jogged, and it's nice, or it's a victory in that I have skin loose enough that it would do that. But and I know there was some other skin kind of flopping around in there too. So I ended up going to a store today over lunch and trying to find some compression shirts because I'd like to run again, but I'd also like to not have the folds in my skin flap against each other while I'm running. I don't want to wake people up and have them think somebody's having sex outside or something. And um, so yeah, I went to a DXL, like a men's big and tall place, to go buy to see if they had any compression shirts. I figured they sell clothing for big and tall men. I'm sure they have something compression wise, and they didn't have anything, which is so silly to me because I'm pretty certain if I walked into a Lane Bryant and looked for female compression clothing, there would be a whole wall dedicated to it. And that's kind of a big and tall place for women, right? And so then I go to the men's DXL, and they had moisture wicking shirts. And so I was like, okay, well, I'll just get a 3XLT moisture wicking shirt. That should be tight on me, kind of compress my stuff together and work until I go and find one. And so I grabbed the 3XLT, and uh it wasn't loose on me, but it wasn't tight at all. Like, for the what I was looking for, the shirt, it was not going to do that. I could have worn the 3XL shirt out of the store and nobody would have really even looked at me funny, probably. Um and that's not what I was looking for. I was looking for something to help kind of make me go from this to this. And so um Carrie's saying like Spanx at Lane Bryant, and there's no male version of Spanx. Not that I know. I mean, I've had um and that's what I guess I have some Under Armour compression shirts, or I have some compression shirts from 8 years ago when I was down to 285 pounds that I wore because I liked kind of going from here to here, or bringing my the fat in, and uh, so yeah, I was hoping to buy a 3XL, and it ended up being too big. So that's a bit of a victory there for me, because having a 3XL be too big would be uh, not something that's happened in a very, very long time for me. So that was another thing that kind of was a nice victory. As I went to go shopping, I ended up the DXL is a little bit expensive for me. I mean, I'd like to be a fancy man and wear fancy clothes. So I usually don't buy a lot of clothes from there, or I try to avoid it. Um, it's been about the only place I could find clothes recently that I could actually go in and look at clothing. But I ended up finding some stuff. I always go to their clearance rack and I look for the stuff that has the most knocked off of it and see if I can find some things. So I ended up picking up a nice 3X polo that doesn't quite fit right now, but it was 50% off. And so I thought it was worth buying. Hopefully by the end of the summer, I'm wearing it regularly or more. I could probably bring it in sometime or show it off as kind of my next goal shirt. I guess it'd be kind of a goal shirt. So I picked that up. Belts are really dumb how expensive belts are. So I usually try to buy them on clearance. And so I found that. And then just a pair of kind of slip on shoes or whatever. But not that you really care about my whole shopping adventure at DXL. But yeah, I had them look for 2XLs. They didn't have any in stock. Whether or not they carry that size in 2XLT or that style of shirt in that size, I don't know. But I'm going to have to go look at other options. If anybody has any suggestions for where you can find good compression clothing for men, I'd love to hear it, because I got a feeling it's going to be a thing as I continue to lose weight. If I already kind of felt the ramifications, and I still have 140 pounds to lose. I'm just barely over halfway. So that was kind of my big things since yesterday. Had a great dinner, and then doing that walk and a little bit of jogging. Hopefully my feet don't hurt tomorrow. I'm sure I'll be fine. uh the other thing I noticed, and who knows if it's from the whole food plant-based diet or just the losing weight, but I felt like I didn't get out of breath at all. Like if I would have ran that distance 4 months ago, I probably would have been laying on the ground clutching my chest. So to do that and then kind of turn around and not be winded or not really feel out of breath is great. um but yeah, I guess I did kind of hint at it. I guess I'll talk real quick, because I almost got hit, because the neighborhood I was walking, I'm sure that this person probably comes home at that time every morning or drops somebody off, maybe is what it was, because they left pretty quick. But yeah, they kind of came around the corner, and had I not kind of been aware of the situation that they might not see me and stuff like that, and it was the first time I walked in the neighborhood, but they came around the corner, probably going 5-10 miles an hour faster than they should have. And luckily for me, I was kind of already on the grass, but they were all the way over into the lane. uh and yeah, who knows, they could have been texting or what. But so be careful if you're out walking in the dark. Have reflective stuff on. I'll have to make sure I get a better light on me. I have a decently reflective leash from what I can tell, or from what I understand. But that was kind of no fun. It was kind of scary, especially for somebody who's been hit by a car in their life, which is me. I've been hit by a car. Gary says, glad you survived. Got to get life insurance on you before I get run over. Yeah, well, I was just looking at that, or not, I was looking at or entertaining the idea of getting life insurance, and it's going to be much easier once I lose the weight, and then I can call them and say, hey, I've been 190 pounds my whole life. They don't know the difference, right? I don't know how that works, but I'll figure it out. Anyways, I'm going to get out of here today. I got some things I have to do before the end of the day. But so I got to get going here now. If you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe to my page. If you're subscribed and you want to check out these live videos, make sure you turn on the notifications. I do go live at 4 p.m. Central most days. I will be live tomorrow. It's weigh-in Wednesday. I want to see your weigh-ins. I'm not expecting big numbers on my end, so don't Don't be looking for big numbers here, but I'm hoping to be less than 59.2. 359.2 is the goal. To be less than that. Yeah, Instagram at Fasting, FAHSTING. And then the Discord. If you'd like to join our Discord, the link is down below. That link will be active for 7 days. And then if it's after 7 days, look for a new video, send me a message, find the Discord link somewhere else. I don't know. Thanks again. I'll see you guys tomorrow, weigh-in Wednesday. And you guys all have a great evening. I hope to see you again tomorrow. All right.